This is Lance Archer, the American Psycho.
This is Brian Thompson, the voice of TCW Wrestling.
This is the original hardcore wrestling and freak of ECW, the one and only Axel Rodney. Yes, this is the Shockmaster, and you're listening to Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Radio. I'm your hardcore host, Rick Head, and of course I got the whole crew here with me. First, he's my sidekick, he's my partner, he's the son of a bitch, Andy. Andy, how are we doing tonight?
Hi everybody, how you doing? And those of you that have missed the earlier show, Rick has changed his name to Rick Head. I'm not going to say anything yet, but I might do later on.
Yes, indeed, I have changed my name for personal reasons. We won't go into that because if you don't know why, well, I guess you're just going to have to catch our earlier show, and that show is In the Moment. And now let's get on to the rest of the panel. We have the classic wrestling manager in the house, and he's Joseph Knight. Joe, how are we doing tonight?
Really good, thanks.
As we move over the incomparable Lance Moss over from youtube.com/LanceMossTV. Lance, what's going on?
Not much, dickhead. I mean, Rickhead.
Well, you know what? I can be either one. It all depends on my mood.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the iVlog tag team. First, we have James from the Big Easy, and of course, we have the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. What's going on, guys?
Oh, wow. Wait for me to go first. Son of a...
Yeah, I'll let you go first, sucker.
Well, okay, respectively, my thoughts with Bobby the Brain Heenan. He had an accident, and prayers go out to him and his family.
Will just knows we'd caught up that he had fallen. I believe he had broken his shoulders. Will, you go ahead. You can bring that up.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, before we started the show, I read that Bobby the Brain Heenan did suffer a shoulder injury while taking a bath, and it's very sad to hear about this, folks. I mean, for someone who's been in the business for so long, someone that I thought that was one of the greatest managers / commentators of all time. Me and Joseph have got the same ideal thoughts, but back to it. Let me go ahead and go back to read my reports, what I said, so we can keep everybody on their toes. Yeah, so the legend suffered a shoulder oh, my mistake. He got out of bed. Okay, well, I guess it was his bed. I'm going to have to retract that. He got out of bed, and this was about almost a week ago, but it's shockingly that they reported it today instead of 6 days ago. Wow. It was in Las Vegas. I guess he and his wife were in Las Vegas for a wedding, but, you know, they were unavailable to attend because of his fall, and, you know, he had some treatments that he gotten, you know, years ago, and James has also brought this to our attention. So, fellas, I want to go around the panel. What do you remember most about Bobby Heenan? I'll tag in Joe to go first, since he and I really like what Heenan's done for the company. So, Joe, I'm going to tag you in. Now, you go first.
Oh, my God. What can you say about Bobby the Brain Heenan? You know, from the AWA wrestler manager to WWF, he's done it all. He's had the biggest faction of all time. Bundy, Andre, Rude. I mean, the list goes on and on. Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. Bobby Heenan, you know, transcended from being a manager to a great commentator. He had his talk show years ago. I mean, what can you say about the man? He's just a great individual. You know, I hate to see him in his state today, but I think, in my personal opinion, WWE should go out of their way to help this man out and his family. After all, Bobby Heenan gave everything he had to the wrestling industry, to WWE, AWA, WWF, WCW. I mean, this man deserves all the attention he can get. Forget Ric Flair. Let's help Bobby Heenan.
And that exactly, Joe. You hit the nail on the coffin on that one. All right, Lance, go ahead. What are your thoughts about the Brain?
Well, I remember he could piss off somebody when he was managing their opponent like nobody's business. But to me, it's he's up in the grades of managers and also grades of color guys for commentary. I mean, his work with Gorilla Monsoon and in WCW, one of the greats on both fronts.
Very well said. Boss, you're up.
Pretty much, what else can you say about Bobby the Brain Heenan? He was probably one of the greatest heels of all time, and I don't really remember him as a wrestler. I remember him more of a manager. I remember when they were trying to do the Manager of the Year award, and I think he was getting ready to get it, and of course, that's when Captain Lou Albano gets it, and he smashes the award over his head. And then, of course, that's through every time for several weeks he was calling himself the Manager of the Year. I am the Manager of the Year. And I think everybody, even though the Captain Lou Albano was the official Manager of the Year, you still remember, Bobby the Brain as the Manager of the Year award. So that's just me. And, of course, he went over to WCW and became a great commentator. He's just excellent. And again, I think like everybody else has been saying, if anybody else should be taking care of him, it should be WWE. Absolutely.
There you go. James, you're up. What about Bobby Heenan?
Huh?
Your thoughts?
It's just sad to, hear this story, especially with, after, he's been suffering with cancer, and I feel like what Joe and Rick said, I think WWE should come in and say, hey, if you need help, we could help you out some stuff. But he can also do it because, remember, he is a Hall of Famer for WWE already. So I think, he might get have some money in already from them.
All right, and finally, Andy, your thoughts, good sir.
What can I say that hasn't already been said apart from Weasel, Weasel, Weasel? I'll never forget that day when I sat there and I remember watching it when it was on the TV, not recently when it's been shown on video, but when they chased him around the ring and he was dressed as, I think he was originally dressed as a rabbit, but they said he looked like a weasel, and they chased him around the ring and ripped his tail off, and I don't know, even recently when he did an interview with, I think it was NBC, it was a shock to see that he'd lost so much weight, because that was done just before his Hall of Fame. He was still a funny guy, and anything that the WWE can do to help the guy make his last few years on the planet more pleasurable for the guy, then I'm all for it. They should do everything they can to help him. And how it looks at the moment, he looks a sorrowful mess. He really does.
Yeah, and basically everybody here said the same thing I was going to say. I mean, like Joe said, fuck Ric Flair. I mean, this is a guy that gave his voice to the business. And, he was a guy I admired watching throughout WWF, WWE, WCW. And I did watch when he got to the Hall of Fame. I mean, very well done, But it's sad to hear. I mean, I was scared to do this report. But, I figured, why not? Me and Joe basically had the same thoughts and opinions about it. So, I hope, Bobby the Brain, they also report that he's been in good spirits. He's not negative at the moment. He's taking it day by day. But, like Joseph also said, too, that, God forbid when he passes away, I hope WWE does a tribute to him for what he's done in the business. I think it should be acknowledged. And with that said, let's get back to you, Rick. Let's start the show.
Yeah, and what we're going to get on to right now, one of our main stories of the night, and of course that is our Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Guys, the first opening match really looking kind of ugly, and this is El Torito versus Hornswoggle in the first ever WeLC match.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, guys. All right. I don't really know who's going to win this one. Personally, I don't care. I think as fast as this match ends, I think that the fans will win. So, Andy, I'm going to throw this over to you.
I really don't know what to say. For once, I'm stunned.
I want to say something. Punt the midget.
Either one will work. Yeah. Honestly, I see El Torito really winning this one because he's the face, and they're probably pushing him over. Where Hornswoggle, unfortunately, yeah, that's just gonna be my pick. Anybody else just want to chime in real quick and we'll move along?
Sure, I will.
I want to know if the tables and chairs are going to be sponsored by Toys R Us.
Well, you know what, guys? I think we've all pretty much chimed in.
Now our question is it going to be like some hanging above it, like that's only 10 feet in the air, or will it be a pinfall submission one like they did in 2012?
Pinfall submission.
Do you know one thing that worries me, guys?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, are they going to have a camera under the ring? Because that's where Hornswoggle seems to spend most of his time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Instead of a ladder, they're going to have a little kitchen step ladder.
Yeah, that's what's probably going to be.
Moving on to more serious things, we have RVD versus Jack Swagger versus Cesaro, guys. Now, I don't see RVD or Swagger winning this one because Cesaro's kind of been on a big push, and considering Cesaro lost his last match, he needs to get back on the big push that he needs, guys. So I'm going with Cesaro. James, I'm going to push it over to you.
Did he lose his last match? I thought he beat Swagger Monday.
No, he lost. He didn't fight. No, he lost. He lost in the when he lost his in the tournament.
But he beat Swagger last.
Oh, my mistake. So yes, okay. But he needs a big win, though. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and this is where Cesaro will get his win.
Okay. So, and all right, and Will, over to you.
Yeah, Swagger's gonna go down back to the jobber status very, very soon. We're gonna wait for that. Far as RVD goes, I just can't see him with a belt right now. Cesaro has been pushed very, very big. The WWE has pushed him big, especially now that he's aligned with Heyman. Why not have Cesaro win this one? So I'm gonna say, fuck it, Cesaro wins this one, hands down.
All right, and Joe, over to you.
You know, how unique. You have a former Paul Heyman guy taking on the current Paul Heyman guy, taking on that other guy, and
wow,
The pot guy.
No, the pot guy is a former Paul Heyman guy. You know, you got Swagger, who's just swaggering right now. He's with Yosemite Sam as a manager. You know what I see, guys? And being the old traditionalist guy, this reminds me of the old Sabu RVD thing, where they were against each other, against another individual in the original ECW. I believe they were fighting against Sandman. And all of a sudden, RVD and Sabu, as they were supposed to be fighting each other, they turn around, become best friends, and they attack the other opponent. I can't see RVD winning, and I know Jack Swagger is not going to win it. He's going to return. He's going to be lower than the Brooklyn Brawler, so I could see Cesaro moving all the way, and I hope they push him all the way.
I have to agree. And now we're going to go on with Tamina versus Paige for the Divas match. Oh, sorry, Lance. I'm sorry. I'm having a bit of... Lance, over to you.
I think when we started talking about pot, Rick had a flashback. I'm going RVD.
You know, RVD forgot to pass. It didn't pass me some, so you know.
I'm going RVD.
All right. Well, now we're going to go on to Tamina versus Paige, and this is for the WWE Divas title match. And you know, I see Paige winning this match. Tamina, I don't know. She really hasn't done a lot. Some people think that this could be just, you know, Tamina's chance to win, as Paige has just been a transitional champion. And I do think that she's a transitional champion, but I don't really see Tamina winning it just yet, guys. You know what, Andy, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Tamina because I think they've just given Paige just as a bit of a push, to be perfectly honest. I really do.
All right. You know what, Joe? If they were going to give that a Paige just a bit of a push, they could have given, you know, they could have given, you know, to the Brie Bella the win, you know, and she could have won the title. It could have been Paige. It could have been Tamina versus the Bellas, and you know, so why not? What's the point?
Why? Because one, we've seen the Bellas too many times. We've seen all the regular divas. All right, it's time to see somebody else, and I think that's what they're looking to do. Plus, the old AJ Tamina connection. This is a tough call because I think they definitely wanted to go with a new face. You know, instead of the 14-year-old girl, they went with the 18-year-old looking girl. You know, it's kind of a difficult call for me because with the AJ situation, what if when AJ returns? What if Tamina, her bodyguard, her best friend, is now the Divas champion? It's kind of the Shawn Michaels Diesel complex. So as much as I want to say, you know, Paige is going to retain this, it's really a tough call, and I'm going to have to go out of my way and actually say Tamina winning this and becoming the Divas champion. It's really odd, but yeah, I'm going to have to say it that way.
All right. Lance, over to you.
Well, I see Tamina winning via disqualification due to AJ coming in and interfering.
All right. Will, over to you.
Well, I'm not really sold on Paige really yet, in my mind, being Divas champion. I mean, knowing that AJ was going to go on a little break, I mean, I don't know who wrote in the fact that Paige was going to be the champion. I mean, it happened, but I think right now, respectively put, I think Tamina's well more deserving for the belt right now, but don't be shocked if creative puts it on Paige to retain. But you guys do make a good valid argument based on scenario, so I would pick Tamina to win. But don't be shocked, like I said, if Paige retains. But I will pick Tamina in my picks when James puts that in, so I'll go Tamina.
Now, Lance, over to you. I'm sorry, James, over to you.
I just done. Yeah, Diva got the King of Divas name. Have mercy. I'm just gonna say this: if they want to give it away to Tamina, they should have left the title on AJ. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest. Why would you give the title to Paige to have her lose at Extreme Rules to Tamina? I just don't see it. They're giving Paige basically making her look strong. Why you gonna make her look lose the title to Tamina? So I'm sticking with Paige because I think this will set up later on the return of AJ. AJ's not gonna return at Extreme Rules. That's gonna be what I'm gonna say.
Okay, and moving on to the next match, we have a handicap match, which is R-Truth and Xavier Woods versus Rusev. Now, guys, I really don't see this match being any more than a squash match. I see Rusev winning this match all the way, guys. Andy, your thoughts?
Exactly the same. They've pushed this Rusev guy, and he's not really done anything yet, so it's pretty obvious he's going to be doing it on the pay-per-view. It's carved in stone, in my opinion.
Joe, your thoughts?
This looks like another Monday Night Raw match. You know, putting this, you know, barefooted, supposed Russian, whatever he is, against Team Jobbers. I mean, R-Truth and Xavier Woods. This is just a waste of a match they could have put two other people better in there. I see Rusev going, of course, all the way, probably thanks to interference from Lana. She's the only reason that this match has probably been booked because everybody wants to see her more than her guy she's managing.
Yeah. James, your thoughts?
Well, I'm just gonna say, why are we having this match? And basically, Alexander Rusev is basically the Ryback right now. The only thing that's different is that he has a manager and a very hot manager, to be exact. So, Rusev all the way.
All right. Lance, over to you.
Well, I'm going Rusev to win over the two African-American members of the new Job Squad.
All right. Will, your pick.
Why is Rusev getting the Ryback treatment? Doesn't creative know how to write this garbage? Of course they would put this in to have Rusev just beat up on poor Truth and Woods, but this is highly pathetic. Rusev will win, but I'm just going to be very disappointed about this match. I thought they could do a lot better. This is just utter garbage.
Yeah, people are saying that he's getting the Ryback push. To me, he should be getting the Nikolai Volkov push.
Well, let's move on to the Intercontinental match, which is Big E versus Bad News Barrett. This could be really a toss-up. I would like to see Bad News Barrett get this win, but I know we're pretty much tossed across the board on this one, guys. Andy, I know how you feel about Bad News Barrett, so I'm going to push this over to you.
I think it's going to be Bad News Barrett because I just don't see him doing anything with anybody else. Although,
really,
I don't know why they're wasting time on him on the pay-per-view because he's to me he's a jobber and always will be.
So okay? Oh, wow, I really thought you were going to go for Big E. All right.
No, I mean Biggie Langston's just a joke. I can see him lasting till the end of the year, and they won't have nothing for him to do because he's just a very bad interpretation of what we've already seen, and a lame-ass Mark Henry, really.
Wow. James, over to you, your pick.
If you think Big E's going to retain the title, then I got some bad news. Because really, with Bad News Barrett's really, he's been good with McMahon. McMahon is high on Bad News Barrett. That's why I'm going to pick Bad News Barrett.
All right, Will, over to you.
You know what? I'm just going to take a page from the classic wrestling manager Joseph Knight, Chapter 2. Biggie Webster will not retain the belt because I like his upbringing, but he's just been stale as Intercontinental Champion. And not to disrespect his athleticism, but I think it's time for Barrett to get pushed up more. And this is where I'll go to Chapter 3 of Joseph Knight's book, where it says, "Drop the belt. You're very stale. This is not going anywhere. Give it to somebody more deserving." So my pick is Bad News Barrett. Thank you, Joe, for this book.
Where fans can buy it in their local Barnes & Noble for $9.99.
Speaking of Joe, your pick on this match.
Jeez. Will, I think everybody makes it plain and says it all. Everybody says it all. Biggie Webster, you're on your way out. Go join the other former Intercontinental champions that just plain sucked. Out the back door. Nobody cares for him. Nobody cares what he's doing. It's about time we see Barrett hold this strap. I think Barrett is a well-diverse, all-around wrestler. So you're going to see some better matches out of him this time around. I actually would like to see him go full battle defending this belt against the likes of Cesaro, Sheamus. Just to name a few guys. Biggie Langston never really defended against any of those guys. He just stale. So, yep, Barrett all the way. And bad news for Biggie Webster. You're going out the door.
Wow. All right. And Lance, over to you.
I'm picking Bad News Barrett, and somebody get Biggie a manager.
Wow. So it was pretty much Bad News Barrett across the board. I thought it was going to be a mix, and I stand corrected. So let's get over to the tag team match, which is the Shield versus Evolution, and this is a no-holds-barred match, if I'm not mistaken. And Evolution pretty much has been giving Shield a hard time, guys. And I'm not sure who to. This is a coin toss for me, guys. I'm not going to make a pick. I'm just going to throw the coin in the air and see what happens. Usually at pay-per-views, I have one coin toss. And the Shield versus Evolution, this is it for me, guys. Lance, I'm going to toss it over to you.
It's kind of a coin toss myself, but I'm going...
All right. Will, your pick.
I just don't see this faring off well as I thought it would, but I was going to pick the Shield because I just think the Evolution bringing back is just utter crap in my opinion. But, I mean, I've seen better, but look for Reigns to do some big damage in this match, so I'll pick the Shield as my official pick for this match.
All right. Andy, over to you.
As much as it pains me to say it, I'm going to go with Shield. Anything to get rid of Evolution.
All right. And Joe, over to you.
What more can you say? The Superman punch is going to knock out Triple H. They're going to fix that brow of his. They're going to send Bautista back into movies. They should punt Randy Orton in the head. So, gee, I think I'm going to sway with the Shield on this. Before anything else, this is a great way to elevate this team. They're taking these young guys, putting them with these legends, and making them have the top spotlight. Not that they didn't have it before, but I think this is their shining moment. And Shield, Shield, Shield. You heard of yes, yes, yes? Shield, Shield, Shield.
All right. James, your pick.
This one's a coin toss, really. I don't know, really. And also, this is just a regular tag team match. There's no stipulation to this, by the way. I'm gonna have to go with the Shield. I just don't see Evolution winning it.
Alright. And now we get on to the cage match between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. Again, this is another match where I could very well see Bray Wyatt going over. John Cena won the last match at the last pay-per-view, and it seems that, if I want to make a quick note, that this is, aside from the WLC match, this is the only other Extreme match. I remember Extreme Rules, they used to have all kinds of matches, and there are no other really stipulated matches. And I don't know what's going on here, but back to this particular match, I'm going to pick Bray Wyatt, and not that I'm a fan of him, but that's my pick. If they go with John Cena, they're really going to kill Bray Wyatt's character. Joe, over to you.
You know, I have to agree with you. They have to give this definitely to Bray Wyatt. John Cena doesn't need another win. I think what they need to do is play up the mind games, and they need to make Cena vulnerable. Keep pushing him down, make him get to that moment in time where he's going to be, he's going to have to make a choice, the turning heel or staying with the fans. And I think this is their long-term goal. It's just to test Cena out, to test the fans, if they really care about John Cena. I like what they're doing with Bray Wyatt. I hope they continue doing this. But definitely, I got to say, Bray Wyatt is going to pull off the win here, and you're going to see another surprise. I can bet there's going to be another mind game surprise for Cena.
Andy, over to you.
I'm going to go for Cena. I just think I don't know. I'm just going to go for Cena.
Okay. Lance, over to you.
They got to give him at least one pay-per-view win in this feud. I got to go Bray Wyatt.
All right. James, over to you.
He got the whole world in his hands. I'm going with Bray Wyatt to win this match.
All right. Will, over to you.
I'll have to say this again, just for our fans to understand. If you did not watch Raw and the way that was orchestrated, that basically tells you that Cena is baffled and he's not winning this match. This is where Bray Wyatt should actually beat Cena. The build-up was fantastic. My official pick is Bray Wyatt to win out on this one.
Okay. And now we come to the main event, which is Daniel Bryan versus Kane, and we know that Kane pretty much, he's come back as the monster. He's come back with the mask.
This is an Extreme Rules match.
Oh, this is an Extreme Rules match. So, pretty much I'm just going to cut it short and sweet. I think my pick is for Daniel Bryan. I think he needs to retain this title. Andy, over to you.
Yeah, and you fans better believe it.
I completely agree.
Yeah. So, Joe, do you think that this is what Daniel Bryan needs to solidify his title?
Absolutely. I believe that EY here should beat the Monster Abyss. Oh, wait a minute, that's a different company.
It's not TNA. It's WWE.
I was fooled by the bearded champion taking on the masked monster. It's the original thing here. In all seriousness, I think Daniel Bryan's going to retain. They're going to make him strong. I can actually see him holding the belt. If not till SummerSlam, at least to Survival Series. Right now, they just need to dish out brutal contenders for him. So I can see Daniel really, this whole year, he's just going to fight. He's going to be the underdog, and he's going to pull out these upset wins. So, yes, Daniel Bryan.
All right. Will, go over to you.
Hold on for a second. Excuse me. I don't see Kane winning this one. You know, his contract is coming up. I don't like the build-up for this match. This is just another, in wrestling terms, a steady bore. So Daniel Bryan wins out. Kane returns for SummerSlam, and we still have the Flying Goat as our champion. So Daniel Bryan wins.
All right, James, your pick.
You know, after watching Raw, I'm not going to be surprised if Stephanie and Brie Bella gets involved in this match. I'm saying Daniel Bryan is going to win, but watch Stephanie gets involved and Brie Bella gets involved.
All right. Lance, over to you.
No offense, Glenn, but you're too old. I'm going Daniel Bryan.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much our Extreme Rules picks. So we have to wait for this Sunday to see exactly what happens. Because
you know,
do you think she's rebranding herself?
I believe so. I think she needs to be. I think she needs to be pulled away from that Miss Tessmacher gimmick. You know, it was good for the time when Eric Bischoff was there. You know, it made reference to the old Superman movie of the 70s with Miss Tessmacher. I think her returning now with some new boobs, new name, or her old name, and, you know, possibly better skilled, it's a good thing for her, especially right now where TNA is lacking in a lot of knockouts. You know, they need to have somebody strong, and I'm hoping this is what they're going to do with her. Really, guys, you know, it's the whole knockouts division has been stale, so I'm hoping this is going to be the shining star. No offense, Rick, but it's Brooke Adams all the way, Tessmacher all the way. Hope she comes back and makes a splash.
All right. Andy, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to make a call of nature, but why has Miss Tessmacher had to go and have her boobs done? What was wrong with them in the first place? I
guess she just wanted better boobs. But now, as you know, like I said, she's also coming back. What we believe, it's confirmed, that she could be coming back as Brooke Adams, which is her original name. So we think she might be rebranding herself. So
I don't know. With wrestling, it's with females in general. They just seem to think that all blokes want women with massive boobs, and it's just nice to see. It's nice to see. I know Joe laughs and jokes about AJ, but it's nice to see a smallish framed girl who's flat-chested in wrestling for a change. You don't have to have big boobs to be a good wrestler. In fact, I've found women that have come into wrestling with a flat chest that end up having inflatable boobs end up being crap because they're frightened of bursting the fuckers.
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I never thought that she was really... I didn't ever thought she had a flat chest nor a flat ass. I thought she was really sexy to begin with.
She is. So, I mean, now she's going to have rocket tits. She's going to look pathetic.
Well, I don't know really what's behind or how big they are. I haven't seen them. I mean, I've only saw a quick video, but I don't know if it's her new boobs, so to speak, or if it's just a lot of it was a lot of her matches in TNA. So obviously she hasn't, you know.
I just think it's a shame that they feel that they have to have massive boobs to make it on the television. Because I'm sorry, if any woman out there listening, if you think you need big boobs to pull men, you're sadly mistaken, because men like different things. Some men don't like girls with big boobs, some men do, so...
Yeah. Lance, your thoughts?
Well, to me, she didn't need the surgery, but because she was fine with what God gave her, if y'all know what I'm saying. But as long as she wears some skimpy little outfits, I don't care what she calls herself.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. You know what? Let's move on, because we're talking about Miss Tessmacher and who used to be Miss Tucker, who used to be the Superman movie. That only reminds us of one thing, and of course, it's one of our favorite segments. It's the Super FMK. Joe, you're up.
Just enjoying the music, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. If you're listening to this segment, you should be going to bed, because this is only for the adults. We are looking at the Super FMK moment, which is, if you haven't figured this out by now, it's you gotta fuck one, you gotta marry one, and you gotta kill one. So, gentlemen, wax them up. Rick, stroke the head, because it's we're done with the old school, and we're now moving forward to the new. And tonight, we venture into the land of the NXT girls. As you know, the King of Divas himself has mentioned many times the different girls of the NXT. I picked out a decent group of girls and one woman. Excuse me. So, yeah, let me read the list to you, gentlemen, and I'll start it along. First of all, the Evolution, Emma herself. The former NXT Women's Champion, now the Divas Champion, Paige. Rosa Mendez. The former Dancing Machine, Summer Rae. The Russian manager, Lana. And finally, excuse me, the general manager herself, Vicky Guerrero.
Yo, I'm looking at this list. I'm looking at this list.
It slipped.
I think it's shot. Ow! I'm looking at this list. I mean, I haven't seen Rosa Mendez on NXT, surprisingly. She might have been on one or two episodes. I don't see her that much on it.
Well, that's why we're picking her, and we're picking a couple. We're just throwing out the wild cards. So since the King of Divas was the one that fell out of his chair first, he's going to get to pick.
Ah, you're making me pick. Son of a bitch. If I had to marry one, I'm going to marry Paige. I'm going to fuck Lana and... Let's give me the shotgun for Vicky. I'll tag in Lance.
Okay. Let's see. I'll marry Emma, fuck Paige, and shoot Vicky with an Uzi. Then I'll tag in Andy.
Right. I will fuck Summer Rae, marry Lana, just forget them legs around my face. I'm definitely going to have to shoot Vicky Guerrero. And I will pass it to Will.
Thank God on this one. All right. I'm going to marry Rosa because I love her, because her ass is great. But let's make sure Mrs. MVP don't hear that yet, or I'll be in the doghouse. Thank you, Lance, you enthusiastic bastards.
that bullet already hit Vicky Guerrero before he even decided who he wanted to kill.
No, that was Mrs. MVP shooting at him.
So I would marry Rosa. I would fuck Paige, and as much as it pains me, I would have to put Summer Rae 6 feet down to the canal.
Wow.
And I will tag in the boss.
All right. Well, I'm certainly not going to marry Vicky, so I'm going to have to marry Summer Rae. You know what? I would definitely fuck Emma, so long as she doesn't do that dance. And
That's after.
What?
That's after.
Yeah. Well, no, she does the dance. I'm shooting her.
Yeah, she dances on your cock.
And then we'll put 2 in Vicky Guerrero.
Give her both barrels.
Yeah.
And a machine
now
gun as well.
Now we're tagging over to Joe.
Oh, great. I'm stuck with Vicky Guerrero.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but when she was in NXT, not now.
No,
Right.
Lana's still available, Joe. Lana's still out there.
No,
Lana's married.
And
Oh, never mind.
All right, let's see here. I would have to take then Vicky Guerrero, but since she has a nice looking daughter, I'll fool around behind her back. Let's see here. I would have to. Let's see here. I don't want the dancing girl because she might poke me in the eye with that dance. With the Summer Rae, she might kick me with her legs. Rosa Mendes, she might blind me with that wild red hair. So I'm gonna fuck the Russian girl, Lana, because she reminds me of that Russian character from Rocky IV.
Dolph Lundgren. Dolph
Ziggler.
Wow.
And you know what? I'm gonna have to turn the gun back on Vicky Guerrero because that way I'll get a quick divorce.
Damn.
Excuse me.
So, gentlemen, thank you for playing this version of Super FMK. Tune in next week where we will actually, here's the treat, we are actually going to give you the MILF FMK moment. Rick gave me this idea.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yes. It's those lovely young, older women who
Googles.
are, who will rock you, who will stroke everything of you, and then will probably kill you. These are the women who command professional wrestling companies. So, get your Dixies out, get your Stephanies ready, get your Lindas ready, because it's going to be a wild one next week. Rick, right back to you.
Thank you, Joe. All right, guys. Well, last Sunday we watched a horrible, horrible pay-per-view in Sacrifice. But the only thing that was kind of interesting, we saw Nux kind of forming a new stable name and a new stable, and he has his girlfriend or sister Rebel, and he's going to be recruiting 2 other people named Freak, Crazy Steve, and he's calling the group, if I'm pronouncing this right, Menagiri, and
yeah, it's correct.
And I'm not sure if this looks almost like I don't know if this is a cheap imitation of the Aces and Eights or a cheap imitation of the Wyatt family guys. Will, what do you think of this?
Sorry, I had to drink some water because I also reported it today here at HWR earlier this afternoon, and I mean, Nux, since he got to TNA, he's just been in stables. I mean, he hasn't really done any singles wrestling, if I'm probably wrong, but overall, I would have to wait until I actually see them wrestle tandemly together. I mean, I didn't watch Sacrifice, but I did see a little bit of the people that are in this Monageri stable, and right now I'm not impressed until I see them wrestle, so I got very little words for this one right now.
Wow. Lance, your thoughts about this?
Well, to me, it was like, well, just like he's bringing some buddies with him. And, well, I do know why they keep putting him in stables. Because when you don't have Nux in a stable, he becomes unstable.
Okay.
Okay, that went over like a fart in church, but okay.
Joe, let me ask you, the fact that now Nux is running his own stable, do you think this is going to help his career at all, or do you think this is doing anything for his career?
It's not going to do anything. He's basically forming his own oddities. It's just another group just to have around for them to, just to take on various wrestlers. Let's not forget that there's already a new stable made up of African American males, which is, MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Kenny King.
That's a spoiler.
Hey. This TNA, it's been spoiled so much. Who cares?
Well, it's all right. We won't be this won't be released until after tomorrow, so it's okay.
So yeah.
That's the thing. It's not gonna be until the 15th.
Oh, all right. Well,
edit.
Anyway.
So yeah, I don't think it's going to help his career. Well, I think it's just going to be a time filler until they can find something better to do.
Okay. Andy, what's your thoughts about this new group coming out?
Again, it's ripping off the WWE. Been done before. They need to get some original writers, for God's sake.
Yeah. Hopefully it turns out to be something original. If not, then yeah, it's just gonna. I don't want it to be just another mock-up.
Whoever mentioned the oddities, I just feel like that's what's going to be. It's basically one of those, the oddities type stuff. It's going to be one of those silly gimmick stuff that kind of would work, but at the same time, it's like,
All right. Well, now it's time for Lance Moss's Controversies and Scandals. And
Eric Bischoff don't got shit on Lance.
Well, and you're right, babe. Eric Bischoff ain't got shit on me. But this is not about Eric Bischoff this time. It's about our favorite booze hound, the Sandman. He had an incident with Captain Lou Albano on July 20th, 2008. At a party for Captain Lou, Fullington, a.k.a. the Sandman, began fighting at a Yonkers, New York restaurant. Employees, when they called the restaurant's employees, when they called the police upon their arrival, he turned on them and started throwing glasses and their way and injuring two of them. At first, he was denied bail on July 23rd due to previous convictions for burglary in 1983. His bail was set at $10,000. The judge also ordered a restraining order against the Sandman from contacting the owner of the restaurant where the incident had occurred, and the Sandman was ordered to stay away from the restaurant. I wonder why. And Sandman was fined of $1,000 and had to pay another $200 in court costs and was given 1 year conditional discharge. Sandman was also facing criminal mischief and assault charges, which were dropped in return for a guilty plea. Anybody else not surprised by this?
Nope.
No, with the Sandman, nothing really surprises me, and it's just, I don't really find this really controversial, but hey, it is what it is, I guess, in this one situation. Andy, you were saying?
The thing with the Sandman, everything that you hear and see about the Sandman is beer orientated, and it would be nice to hear a story about the Sandman where he hasn't actually had a drink. In fact, I don't think miracles do happen.
Yeah.
It's like Flair not having a drink.
Yeah, pretty much.
The real controversy here was all the Sandman was doing was commenting on the food. He saw his large bill, and he just had a interesting discussion with the restaurant employees that turned a little bit violent. So I think the real controversy here is beware of restaurants who call the police on you.
Yeah, and this goes to show as to why Sandman's not had a career. You know what I mean? It's obviously people could say it's because ECW went down the toilet and it was all his it's all ECW's fault because the WWE because ECW took them under and a lot of the ECW guys are gone. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. Some good, great ECW wrestlers still shine. I mean, look at RVD. You know what I mean? He's still there. I mean, but guys who just don't do anything with their career are either in the indies or are in jail. I'm sorry.
It's probably only $2.
So and that's Will, what do you think?
Sorry for my background. I mean, the only thing I know about Sandman basically is he loves to drink, and I read what Lance told us about this little incident, and it's just anything with alcohol and all these stemming charges just doesn't look good. Your reputation, your image goes down, and then later on you're going to get everybody just, so you having a fight, and this pretty much tells you what you're about. And me not being a drinker, thank God. But no, I mean, this is just, I can't say funny because, when people overdo it, things get crazy, people get chaotic, blah. And then, Lance read there was a $10,000 bail. Like, wow. Don't drink and drive or don't do anything stupid. But overall...
Don't drink and start a bar fight.
Yeah, exactly, because people act stupid when they drink. It just gets chaotic at the end. So... Wow, I'm just glad that, it wasn't too much of an issue, but this is utterly crazy.
Well, you know what? We want to thank everyone for listening, and we want to know your thoughts, and we want to know your opinions. What do you think about this controversy? I mean, it's really not controversial, but what do you think about Sandman? Do you think that his career could have been better if he wasn't having drinking problems? What do you think about this upcoming pay-per-view? Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to lose? Who do you think there's going to be any title changes? Make sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video, and please subscribe to youtube.com/HWR video. Andy, where can everyone find you at?
Yeah, you can find me at www.stokehaunted.com.
All right. We have the classic wrestling manager in the house, and he's Joseph Knight. Joe, what do you got going on?
I'm coming up with a new YouTube series that's going to be hitting up soon. Fans can follow me also on J Knight Manager on Twitter. I'm going to be discussing various subjects of classic wrestling versus today's wrestling. Also, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com as Joseph Knight Manager. Remember, the Knight is with a K. And kids, stay away from drinking or you'll end up like the boogeyman himself, the Sandman.
Well, personally, I hope the kids aren't listening to the show with all the fucking shit we say. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Dickhead.
Yeah, if kids are listening to this, Vicky Guerrero's going to knock on your door.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
We have the incomparable Lance Moss in the house, and you can find him at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. Lance, what do you got going on over there?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, and next week the scandal will be the Barry Orton sex scandal.
We have the
I'm serious.
Wow. We have the iVlog tag team in the house. First, he's James from the Big Easy, and his tag team partner is the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. James, what do you got going over there?
Can we start off with MVP? Because we always start off with MVP. Let's start him off first.
Fine, you
sure. All right, hold on. All right. We got the iVlog tag team from the house. First, he's a Bay Area MVP, known as Will, and his tag team partner is James from the Big Easy. Bay, what do you got going on over there?
Well, as James can get the head out of his ass, next week we'll be doing the NFL Draft 2014 Skype call for most of our fans. So we invite all of our sports fans to come join us. The draft is officially a week from tomorrow. Starts at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. And James will be supplying all the McDoubles to all our guests since he made me first, you shallow bastard.
That's right. Alright, yeah, but from everything else, you will find us on the iVlog.tv. MVP is iVlog.tv/users/Bay Area MVP, and myself is iVlog/users iVlog.tv/users/Fatboy504. Game shows, games, whatever, etc., etc. Sports talk, wrestling talk. And you can also find me, MVP, and the rest of the crew on HWR, where when I post the Diva of the Week and MVP posts the Heels and Faces of the Week.
And of course, you can find that Facebook page on Facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
Be sure to check us out on our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And please subscribe to our YouTube page at YouTube.com/HWR Show. Until the next time, this is the Hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
The following announcement has been paid for by Al's Nose Head. And not the styrofoam one either.